subject real quick, and I want to talk about Brett Favre.
Let's talk about him.
Brett Favre, I mean, is he really going to come back and play for Minnesota? He wants to. I think he wants to come back and play for Minnesota, but I think he wants to do it out of revenge for Green Bay. You know, I mean, I believe his heart is still in the game, but I just don't think that. I think he's not. I think he's, you know, he wants to come back for the wrong reasons. I mean, you know, the Jets got to look at it like this too, man. I mean, come on, Brett Favre, you just flat out disrespected us. You know what I mean? You told me you were going to retire, and he left the Jets without a quarterback. You know, the Jets didn't have a coach or a quarterback, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to retire. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back." And now because Minnesota is waving a little contract in front of him, and he wants to go play for Minnesota now, I just think he needs to hang up his cleats and stay at home. I think that's what he needs to do. I mean, you know, they're saying it all depends on when his MRIs come back with the tendon in his bicep and his shoulder and everything. And he's saying that he doesn't want surgery and he doesn't need to have surgery. It's the same kind of injury John Elway had a few years ago. I believe it was his Super Bowl, the second Super Bowl season that he won. It's the same kind of injury. He can play with it. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, Minnesota. Do you want to go that route? You know, do you really want to go that route? Do you want to be the team that? Do you want to be the team that has an aging Brett Favre playing out there only for one reason, to play the Green Bay Packers twice a season? Is that what you really want?
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't know.
You think they'll do it? You think they're gonna do it?
Yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to do it because it's it's all about marketing. You know what I mean? It's all about marketing, and you know, Ziggy Wolf wants to make money. So hey, let's put a number 4 jersey, and you know, with the Vikings purple and orange. And Minnesota's a great football town. You know, and they love their football there in Minnesota. You know what I mean? So
it's going to get them on TV.
What's that?
It's going to get them on TV.
Oh yeah, definitely they're going to get them on TV. I mean, you know, Minnesota has a good team. They don't need Brett Favre.
Right.
You know, I mean, they have a good team to begin with. Now they do. They have a quarterback situation because I don't think DeVar's Jackson is the greatest quarterback for that team, but he's still their quarterback. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if Minnesota wants to get a quarterback to win a championship, it's not Brett Favre.
And speaking of bringing the fun back to the game a bit, do you agree with? I mean, I know he's a Steeler guy, so you're probably a little partial to him. But do you agree with Troy Polamalu saying that they're making the game soft? And upon that, I want to add to that. I believe that the touchdown dance rule stuff is excessive. I don't think that it really affects the game at all. And you can tell the difference between a celebration and grandstanding. Like they got the little controversy over the LeBron thing at the end of the Super Bowl. But I don't like stuff like that shouldn't even matter. Whether it was whether you had it in the back of your mind to do it or you just do it when you're in there. I don't think it should even matter if a guy's running around with a Sharpie in his sock all game because you're the idiot with a Sharpie in your sock. You're hoping to get a touchdown. But at the end of the day, when people are in the end zone and then, you know, they doing these little lame celebrations, because the dances they do now are lame. You know, that I don't see how that hurts the game for them to be expressive in the end zone. I mean, you got to score a touchdown to do the dance.
Right.
Point blank. And that would actually encourage players to want to make touchdowns. You know, it sounds crazy, but you want to do your dance. You trying to get in the end zone. Your team want to see the dance. I like the old bowling pin things and the little, then you point the gun around, the little ball like a gun. Everybody's falling down and the little high fives and slam dunks and stuff. I miss that. And it was a aura of fun to the game, which I think they kind of snuffed that fire. And then Polamalu said they trying to take the pop out of the hitting game. What do you think?
Well, I agree with Polamalu's statement. It seems like they're trying to. I think they are trying to soften the game up. I mean, it's a hard hitting sport. They wear pads. They train. They use their bodies are their temples, and they train so physically and mentally hard to be able to play and give 100% every time they're out there on that field. And to tell a guy like Polamalu, who's just, he's all out. There's a lot of players who are all out, you know what I mean? But I could say personally for him, I could see that he's all out. He puts his body into every tackle. I mean, he'll back into a tackle. You know what I mean? That's the way the game is played. I mean, you just go out there and you play as hard as you can. And look, hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that I hit you. Hey, I'm 195 pounds, and you're 240 pounds. I'm sorry that I hit you and I laid you out. You know what I mean? But I'm smaller than you are. You know what I mean? But I'm putting what I got into it. You know what I mean? It's just about Yeah, they are trying to take. They're trying to soften the game up. Maybe they want the longevity of the players more. I don't know what it is. I mean, I understand them trying to sweep the quarterbacks from a lot of these vicious blows. I respect the quarterback situation, especially on some of the hits when they're blindsided. They're getting smashed from behind after the ball's already thrown. I respect those kind of calls. But as far as you coming across that middle, you come across that middle. You catch a pass in the middle of my field. And if I lay you out, you're going to think twice about coming across that field.
Yeah.
Don't give me a 15-yard penalty because I laid you out for doing my job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That defeats the whole purpose. You might as well just let him catch the ball.
Exactly. I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, you got to let me play my game. You come across that middle and catch that ball, I'm going to lay you out. You ain't going to come across that middle again.
Okay, on that, how about the end zone celebrations? How did you feel about them really kind of banning the celebration for the most part?
I'm a little conflicted with that. I mean, I like to see a genuine celebration. I like to see a young kid young running back who runs into the end zone and scores his first touchdown, and he's so excited that he doesn't know what to do with it, and it's unscripted. I respect the unscripted celebrations more than I do the scripted ones. I mean, back in the 80s, the Washington Redskins had the fun bunch, Art Monk and Willie Gault. And when they would score a touchdown, they'd all run up together. They all get high fives, like you said. I mean, I like that kind of stuff. Now, I know it's a little bit scripted, but that's okay. You know what I mean? That's all right. But like you said, with the Sharpie and my sock, you know what I mean? I don't know. Let's play the game of football. You know what I mean? You could have hurt me. I mean, I know it's a Sharpie, but you could have hurt me or somebody else with that Sharpie. Or how about the New Orleans Saint? I can't remember his name right now. He had the cell phone down in the end zone. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. I mean, I realize you're trying to be original, but right now you're just trying to upstage the last guy who had the Sharpie in his pocket or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I respect the unscripted celebration. If the whole team gets together and they have a genuine, hey man, good job. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. But the scripted stuff, especially with the corny dances they have out there nowadays, I don't want to see none of that. I mean, right now you're just wasting my time. That's how I feel about that personally.
Well, I see where you're coming from, but that to me, because I was a real casual football fan, and I kind of waited for those moments. Was why I was watching. And they took it away from me, and I didn't watch for a few years. I just really got back probably the Giant Super Bowls the year I started kind of back watching football for other reasons. But they took that from me. That was something that I look forward to. And that wasn't just on end zone celebrations. I mean, I remember when people used to really celebrate first downs and celebrate sacks, and it's like they want you to go out there and play like this mundane chess game. And it does go for the whole board. The little old fun bunch dances, that it banned all of that. Even if you want to say to hold it within taste, or all right, ban props. There are no props. Okay. You cannot use props. Anything you can come up with that's just you, your body, and your buddies in the football. Maybe a pylon if you want to stretch it. But other than that, you can't bring anything extra into it. If it just has grass, the stuff that's available on the field, maybe something like that would be a more fair. But I don't think that, because how many dances did somebody use a prop like that? We got Sharpie, we got cell phone, we got T.O. grab some popcorn, and from there it kind of gets kind of thin. But those three celebrations kind of killed the entire thing, when you could have just hit my man with a $50,000 fine, a 20-yard penalty, and the game continues. And then even that gives them the opportunity to say, this is the game-winning touchdown. I'm taking this down there. There's, not enough time left. The time's going to expire. And I do this outlandish celebration. I know I'm going to get fined and penalized for it, but I have the opportunity to do that. I don't know. They should revise it some way or relax a little, because the thing is that ratings are not surging in any of the professional sports, and you need to find ways to bring people to the television. I mean, the computer is taking people away from watching prime time. Cell phones are taking people away from watching prime time, and the only thing that you have that can keep you hooked into prime time is the shock value of not being the person